Let's do it. हेलो हाँ बहुत गुड आफ्टरनून बहुत मुझे मतलब आज से तो मैं सॉरी क्योंकि मैं यहीं से हूँ ना और आई थिंक इट विल टेक 3:30 to 4 o'clock हो जाएगा मुझे यहाँ पर बट आई विल कॉल यू जैसे मैं यहाँ से हो जाऊँ मैं आपको कॉल जरूर करूँ ठीक है तो मैं आपसे मिलता हो जाए ओके
A very important and a much awaited session on career guidance for our children, in fact for the families. So I do see some enthusiastic young faces, some a bit bored But most of them appear to be quite enthusiastic and excited about this. The parents are definitely excited. So we're all very lucky and honored to have the founders of the Youth and Fem Mosaic organization with us. So introducing them, we have Ms. Bhavya Seth, Ms. Kirti Mehta, and Ms. Bhumika Patani. So they are all experts with lots of experience in the field of career guidance and counseling. And we are quite fortunate that they are here to guide the young minds. So we have the program today that we are planning 3 sessions of 30 minutes each, in which they will be guiding about the choice of careers and how to go about it, the role of the upcoming AI and emotional intelligence as well. So I would like to hand over the mic to Ms. Bhumika so that the session can be carried.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Youth and Feminism, it is a privilege to be with such distinguished gathering of doctors and families today. Our role is to help students and parents move from confusion to clarity and from pressure to purposeful direction. Before we begin, I would like to sincerely thank Dr. Gupta, Secretary IMA West Ghaziabad, for taking this thoughtful initiative, for coordinating this session with remarkable care, commitment, and humane touch at every possible time. A big round of applause for it, please. I would also like to warmly acknowledge the entire IMA family for being present here today and investing your valuable time in one of the most important conversations, the future of the children. Well, I hand over the mic to Bhavya. She will be taking forward the first session.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for taking time out. We understand that how busy you all are, but it's just wonderful to see you here with that kind of enthusiasm. We saw smiling faces and we knew that you really wanted to be here. And children, I promise, we all have made sure that you're not going to make it so boring that you have to leave, or you're looking at your parents and please can I leave. We are trying to incorporate as much information within these 2 hours to open up your minds, basically, not to guide you with what you can choose, what you can't choose. That is a separate topic, but what lies ahead of you. That's what we're going to do in next 2 hours. So hold tight, but then don't feel as if you don't belong here. You do belong here, believe me. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Rahul, for making this happen. The first phone call that came, that gave me an excitement, a little bit of anxiety, and a sense of belongingness that, what you all do, we should just give it back to the children, because you can't find time, but you really want something best for your children as parents, no matter whichever field you're from. And doctors hold more responsibility than many, many others of us, So grateful to you all again. And let's begin who we are. Just a little small information from where we all are coming from. So we 3 have tried understanding where we belong to. The question came in. The first question that came in was, how can we help? Just like doctors, we just thought we came from different backgrounds. I'll come back to each counselor where do they belong, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And then we realized, how can we help? The help was where the parents and the children and the whole career confusion came in. So we trying to bridge the gap between that and trying to find the mosaic of possibilities. That's why the name came Youth and Fem Mosaic, because we not only cater to students and parents, we also cater to women for multiple things. So these are some of the helps which we try to provide through our platform, which is very dynamic, and we just don't bring in the current clarity. We also bring in emotional resilience. AI, which is a big name out there, but you don't know what to do and how to do with it. Or some of you know, but then you don't know where to go about it. So trying to cater to everybody out here a little bit. So I'm Bhagat Singh. I have a STEM background. So I have spent most of my time as a researcher in geology, geography, as well as data science. I still thought where I would like to fit in with all that information. I love my research, but I love children as well. I love the curiosity, inquisitiveness that comes in, and they need direction. So career counseling came into me naturally over there. Then we have Kirti Mehta. She is from corporate. She has served in banking for more than 15 years. Again, the question came in, I really would like to help more. Where can I do it? Career counseling happened to her. Bhumika, with an HR background for more than 20 years right now, and bigger brand names, eventually found the niche that, this is where I belong, where I would fit in this guidance. So young minds there and parents, this is where I would like to. So we're bringing in 3 different perspectives within this, and we all are certified career counselors. So we're not just bringing in the knowledge, we're bringing in certified knowledge so that it is updated, latest, and catering to your needs as well as your inner desires and aptitude and many other things which just get lost in the conversation out there. So let's move on. And I have a question for everyone. Let's see if you have an answer, yes or no. I'm sure this is the question where everybody is going to nod yes. Are we guiding our children or steering them toward a map that no longer exists or will lead them to the most suitable one? Do we say yes, yes, yes? For parents, no. There is one who says no. You're very sure that where you're sending the child, or you're confused? Most of us are, because we feel overwhelmed right now. So how do we help? How do we help? This is the start, just to understand that it is evolving. एक शब्द है, समुद्र मंथन जैसा. फिलहाल, we are sitting in that situation where everything is taking at a very fast pace. What is happening is very normal to the children, but for us, we have been holding for too long. This may feel fast, for them it is already existing. So these numbers may actually cause stir, but it just tells you that there's a necessity to understand and bring yourself up to understand rather than feeling anxious and put the pressure on to the children. And children do not feel that we are not adequate. We are understanding so that we can match up. So if we are anxious, it doesn't mean that we don't know. We just want to make sure that whatever you're doing is the best. So it has to have a balance. So these numbers, when you say they are verified from, both Economic Forum and their technologies, these are the numbers which suggest that why you have to understand and pace up yourself, right? So when we say how, where to start, I mean, we just talk about career, but we don't go back to the basics. What is the purpose? Ikigai, I think most of us know from somewhere or the other. It's a word that is coming up at most of the places. Anybody knows what is Ikigai? Anyone? It means
Many of you watch anime.
yeah.
What's the origin of anime? Japan. So Ikigai is one of the technique or philosophy followed by Japanese. If you are following anime, do research about the country from where it is originating. Okay, so
So the first thing that comes to your mind, it might feel a whole lot heavier when we say the reason of being. Why do we exist? What purpose we solve? But it actually is going to tell you that where do you belong? Where can you have something more meaningful for those 40, 50 years where you would like to not just be successful professionally, academically, but you'll have some sense of belonging there, right? So when you do that, there are ways to do it. So what at Mosaic, we try to find the tiles in. First tile, we call it aptitude. This can't be just told, it gets assessed, just like your parent, doctors or anywhere where you need stats. There's something called a psychometric test. You do that analysis, you get a quantitative data out of it, and you understand what is your aptitude. What are you good at? many things, not maybe just one thing. Then what comes as an interest? Your personality. Where your energy gets drained out. When you look at your whole day, I'm sure you will find one place where you will say, this is where my energy gets there, but I don't feel drained out. I feel excited, even if it is 16 hours of a day. I don't get bored out of it. I'm looking forward to something. Next day, I want to wake up and I want to get started. That is your interest.
Let's ask them one or two interests that they really want to share with us. Children,
Or write it down.
write it down. Just write it down.
Let's see.
What thing is that you will do without your parents telling you, without anybody asking you to do it? One thing that you really want.
Where would you like to put
Anything. Playing football, watching TV, scrolling reels,
Watching people as well.
watching people, anything.
Counts.
Just write it down.
Just one word.
Anything.
Anything.
One word. It is sleeping. Even if it's sleeping, just write it down.
Watching people, watching merchandise, looking at things, looking at color pattern. Yes, please. Can we have a mic here? Do we have one? Put that. Yeah. No, this is what. If you're loud enough, you can go ahead. Tell your name first.
Get one.
Yesterday sketching and
Closer, you find. You can come forward.
वॉल्यूम इधर थी या फिर वो ऐसे बोल देगा
ऐसे ही बोल दे भाई
ऐसे ही बोल
It's okay. I think you're loud enough. We can hear you. Go ahead.
yes I'm going I can't that particular
What kind of sketching?
like various types of film art like maybe hyper-realistic art or maybe anime art
So it is not about spaces, it is about people. What is it? You draw imagination or you draw inspiration from something? So? Okay.
That's a wonderful talent. Let's applaud him for that.
So keep that in mind. We will bring it back and try to tie it up with something more relevant out there. Just hang in with it. Anybody else?
It's good that you have identified your passion. So we have applauded.
Anyone else? If you feeling hesitant that you can mention it here, just write it down. Take it back home and think about it. It's fine. It is for you. It is not for us. Just keep your thought process going on. Keep the four ties in your mind, and you'll have some clarity out there. Second one and the third one is going to be your skill. What you're already built for. When you're bringing in aptitude and interest from Ikigai, what your passion, what your interest, where you're wired. What skills, how are you going to make it work? Because if you like something and if you're not doing anything about it, then you are not making any skill work for yourself. It takes months. Just the same way, he said that, I like sketching. It did not happen in one day. You've been practicing for many, many months, maybe years. And that's how you know that you're really good at that. So this is what skills are. So in profession as well, when you keep practicing, the skill gets generated along with your aptitude and interest. The final one is what you're aiming for is the market. We are sitting already 1/3 of this year, 2026, and this number says what 2020 should be paying you. So what it means that it has not been anymore as a person, it is becoming a brand for yourself. What skill are you bringing in along with your aptitude and interest? You can say I'm passionate. How are you going to show it? I am driven for this. I really like this. How are you going to show that? So if a person is in design, we are requesting everybody to start making your portfolios, keep a record of it. So that you show what skills you're building in. If you're passionate about reading, make a note of it. If you love reading, what kind of reading you're doing, make a note, make a summary out of it and what kind of books you're reading about. It can be anything. It can be fashion, it can be marketing, it can be stock marketing, because kids are really good at numbers, but they don't know what else to do with it. Go read about it. AI, if you want to understand, if you're practicing, try doing that. So when you do that one and ask the question when you're asking on Google or your parents at school, what all other skills that are needed, some are absolutely indispensable. Right? What are some of them I'm going to count and let's see what all can bring it to you. Communication skills, everybody needs it, no matter whatever field you are in. Your communication skill, if you are making a product and if you don't know how to sell it, there is no point of making that product because you will have to hire someone else to do that. And you don't know the person if the person can actually do the same justice to your product. So you should have the communication skill to get your work done. One, if you're being an influencer, that comes obviously. If you're being a doctor, that is absolute necessity. You name it and you have to have that communication skill. The technical skills, not just because that you don't like it or you like it. These are some of the situations where you have to understand that AI that when you say, use it for a purpose. Don't just ask your homework. That's one thing you may be asking, but then ask relevant questions out there. Then when you're talking about, technical aspects, then engineering drawing, how many of you know about this one? When you go to architecture, it is not just the regular design. If you understand spaces, this is for something called as spatial designing, spatial understanding. So if you understand, if I give you, there's a 10 by 10, square feet area, you have to design that. The person who can imagine and put 50 chairs over there or can design in a way has a spatial recognition better than the other person who can design it aesthetically. There are two different ways of understanding. How can you design? A design can happen when you're measuring and doing it. Measurement will happen. But if you're creative, that becomes different in a creative way, right? So these are skills as well. How you're putting channelizing, then these are 3-4 basic ones which you have to understand. Technology, communication, where you're driving forces. So these all are there which you're building in. No matter whatever you're doing, you have to find time. And you have to show how you're projecting it, correct? And the final one is where you want to launch yourself as a market, in a market, as a brand. So think like that. Think like a person who is thinking from a perspective as a doctor, as an engineer, as a marketer, a CA, if you want to do it. CA doesn't belong to one room anymore now. Data analysts, there's so many, we will come back to that one. So this is very important, that's why it took a little bit longer. Let's move on and see. So, the question framing starts differently when you're thinking about what you want to do. The old question, I won't say old, I will say the contemporary, the traditional way of thinking, which stream has the best option? The second one you can read, can you read? So what logic style does your brain run on? One person thinks differently, your logic works differently. It is not right and wrong anymore. It is how you think, and if you can convey it properly to yourself and to others, that's what is your best one out there. डॉक्टर बन जाओ या इंजीनियर बन जाओ या मार्केटिंग में चले जाओ या नंबर्स में अच्छे हो तो सिर्फ ये कर लो चलेगा. There is something different. What kind of problems you want to solve? Everyone is solving a problem or somewhere or the other in their field, right? Yes.
You said design, right? Petri, what one problem can you imagine right now that you want to solve with your skill? Anything that you can think of. Again, each one of you, one problem that you have identified or you can think of and you can solve. One problem. Think, anything. It could be as simple as cleaning your own space.
Anybody? Yes. Mike.
Yes, certainly.
I think right now in the age we are living in, one of the most significant and important problems I think I'm okay without this.
Okay.
The most significant and the problem which is actually turning out to be very crucial is the decreasing emotional quotient amongst people my age, and I think after a point people your age too.
Yes.
And this is a very big problem that our age is right now facing, and after 10 years, let's say in 2036, this problem is only going to get bigger until and unless things like art, as he does, designing, creativity, music, all these creative forces drive the humanity towards a sustainable one. So I think by designing the thing he does with art, with skills, we all can actually thrive into a humane future, not just a robotic AI-driven one.
Wonderful, wonderful. What subjects have you taken?
Yes, I have the same question.
What subjects have you taken?
I'm currently in grade 10 for PCM.
PCM, for what reason?
To maybe build my logical ability more, and so that
Logical ability has very less relevance to that anymore. We will come back to that.
But the thought that you have
Yeah.
is driving you somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, we can identify that, and that's why we ask what subjects you like.
Correct.
Wonderful question,
And wonderfully answered. Well thought. And we will be covering emotional quotient. Do you know emotional resilience is our topic after this one? We are covering that. We've got you. Right. Okay. So these are some questions out there. If you want to take a picture, go back and think about it. Start scribbling. Start random words into a page. See what all connecting dots you have everywhere. It will be scattered, you may feel, but let me just bring it to your next one. See, when we say something like this, we say bio and maths, right? Earlier it was only one. When we were growing up, biotechnology was the cutting edge there for us. Anybody who got into biotechnology is a brilliant person, because the person is hand in hand biology as well as mathematics. Do you know how many have you been reading newspapers and updating yourself? Anyone get into the habit of knowing what's going around, because this is what is going to help you out with. Why? I tell you, IITs have come up with their PhD courses. Why? Because they want to research there and make the engineering support the sciences too. Two of the campuses already there, and we'll bring you more. Okay, so one example. Psychology and economics. Anybody can answer that? Why psychology and economics? One is humanities, one is now in sciences as well. But yeah, let's see. Sciences. This is a combination in science right now and humanities. And surprisingly, it will be there in commerce as well. Why? Because this is a part. Yeah.
So how many of you have seen this pattern? If you're talking with your family or something and you're saying, let's go on a vacation, and suddenly you see reels of SOTC or some Make My Trip. Have you seen that? You have all seen that?
Yeah.
So how is it happening?
Anyone?
Can any of
So students in 10th, 11th, and 12th, I'm sure you know what is that. There's one word for this. What is that?
behavioral economics? So they are listening to you through your devices, and they are understanding your needs, and they are targeting you with the same kind of reels, everything you will see around those, to push you in a way. They are controlling your mind. Okay, that's called behavioral economics. So those who understand psychology, those who understand numbers, will be able to capture the minds of the future generation.
There's something common between those two. Can anybody tell me that? There is an answer line over there, psychology and economics. There is a subject line in between. Statistics. Hugely. Psychology, you can't finish your psychology, your master's and your PhD without statistical information. H right now. But this is absolutely data driven. Both. And the more which are coming up. Alright? Then AI ethics consultant, because when you're bringing in new technology, ethics has to, अगर आप एक town बनाते हो, you know, you bring in the rules first, then only it regulates further. Otherwise हम सब complain करते हैं ना, इसलिए ये problem है, because पहले share कर दिया, लोग बाद में आए और सारे chaos हो गया. So यहाँ पे जब अवेयर लेके आ रहे हो, ethics comes over because you have to put in rules, what goes and how it goes and how you're going to channelize that information. So consultancy is the combination out there. So humane touch, as the young lady over there said, that's there. Using it smartly as well as wisely with the humane touch. That's your combination out there. And you can help out government as well. You know, bring in that kind of data. Okay, and many other fields. These are some great examples. We are not going to run through this. You can take a screenshot. I will let you know. Late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You know what stood out? Everybody has been a fan of him. Everybody. You name it, he was there. He was an economist, he was a visionary, he was a brilliant scientist in your aerospace. What made him stood out? Leadership, everything. Humane touch and poetry. Everything mixed over there. Second one, you know, Dr. Siddhartha Mukherjee. Anybody from you have read about him? Anyone? He's not just the Pulitzer Prize winner. You name it, he's been to all the Ivy Leagues. He is from Delhi, St. Columba. He was a product from here, and then he moved on to all the Ivy Leagues. You know what stood him out? Not just his research in medicine. He wrote like a story. All his research papers are like stories. Third one, this child is only 15, Gitanjali Rao. When she thought of one problem to solve, social impact. What kind of social impact? What she really cared deeply about. This is for you kids. 15 years old. She is the Time Kid of the Year. Time magazine, how many of you know? Anyone? Time magazine. No, we know. I'm talking about these kids. Yes, nobody. Please do. Please start reading. It's not just that we read it at your own school. Reading magazines are going to actually tell you what is lying ahead because they're giving you latest information too, not just this. And when money lies, time is for that. Right? Okay, so when we see all these, this is so much of information going on. What to do, what not to do. 7th and 8th graders out here, this is your focus right now. 7th until 8th, you can do random stuff, explore, deeply explore, find out what you really want and what takes your mind off quickly. 6 months sustainability for anything. Start understanding your way out. Find one thing that you would like to build upon. Find a sport, find a skill. Ask your parents, circle, where can I work? Volunteers, 9th graders are taking internships. There are absolute proper platforms. You name it, one big name out there is Internshala. Then you have social networking.
Give them a perspective.
Yeah.
Why this we are talking about? Any of you has ever dreamed of or thought of going abroad, studying? How many of you?
You can raise your hand. You can raise your hand. Your marks up. Come on, let's see.
So, have you heard about profile building? Why is it important?
We spoke about something
Why is it
just
important?
before. Those 4 times, can anybody think which time was that? Profile building.
Skills, your skills, what are you good at? So, universities abroad, don't just look at your marks.
No, even India, no matter, let's just calculate them. Yes.
Yeah, even
All the
India now.
English universities.
They're not
SOPs.
interested about your rank, your scores, your money. It is what you bring to them. What difference you will make in that institution.
What are you bringing in?
What are you bringing in? That's where your
What they're offering is different. What you're bringing in is also important.
Okay, so right from class 7 onwards, you have to identify your core skills, where you are good at. Start small project, one project in 6 months. Maybe you're avid reader, you're reading a book, write a blog about it, write your own summary, post it. Document every interest that you have to show that this is what I am good at. Okay, so this is where skills profile building matters.
I'll leave a name over here. Can you write it down? Digital Vault. Write it down, please, everybody. Go back and remember this one, Digital Vault. It is not just your certificates. Yes, you have to organize it all. You should take your accountability. Parents should not do that. I absolutely discourage when parents doing the certification. They should start doing from 9 onwards. Put all your certifications together. That is one. Second one, when you're talking about digital vault, what you're building in, there has to be an accountability. Everything is going digital, right? Hard copy on रखता है. ठीक है ना? मुश्किल है, गुम हो जाएगा. So digital vault means whatever skill you're building in. A YouTube channel is one place, but kids under 11, we are not recommending that one. You can keep it closed. Don't open it, but you can do that under parents' guidance. You should not be there until you're 18. Even LinkedIn. 11th onwards, we are encouraging everybody to open children's LinkedIn accounts. You get volunteer internship options out there. Profile building happens over there. You can find your work aligned with other students who are bringing in startups. You can work with them. You can work in a project. Make your own digital vault. Keep everything together. How you're going to show it. You can't look for that one at the last minute, right? When you're writing your SOP, how much are you going to remember? Open that folder, start building it. You can write a story about it. You can keep editing. SOP, my SOP took 22 edits. And then I sent it. Yes, I'm a University of Calgary product, so I know what is SOP. That was 20 years ago. But yes, 22 for me. And those who went to Ivy Leagues, I don't know how many of them they wrote. Or what they thought about how they channelized it. This is for me as an average above average student. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, let's move on. So this is, I'm just going to quickly leave it here. We are not going to be already mentioned this one. Log it all. Awards, certificates, academics, experiences, everything put together, slowly built in. Do not leave it randomly over there. You will see a path, you will see a way out there. Okay? Alright. So, the question comes in कि ये सब के बाद हम करें क्या? ये आपने बहुत सारा ज्ञान दे दिया. This is existing. Yes, we are building profiles के लिए everything. This is mainly for the right hand side. You know, these are the exams on your left hand side. This is where you should start preparing for. So apart from digital world, the academics awareness should start. If you are really inclined, that digital world is actually going to tell you which field you're going to take in, rather than asking in 10th, "Ab kya karu?" I don't know, or I want this, the parent is saying something else, I'm not sure. When you have that, you can look back and you have some clarity. Then reach out to a career counselor at school or read. When you have that clarity, when you're reading, you'll be asking the right kind of question even to AI. AI is going to only give you the wrong answer question, the answer when you're giving the wrong question only. So this is how it is going to be. Right side more important when you start thinking about it. We will delve into it. Also, just quickly mentioning, we have some booklets for everybody out there. When you will be leaving, please do not forget, you can keep a copy. That's a little handbook from our side. So you can have all the information about entrance examinations and what combinations you can bring in. So this is the common entrance examination. Take a screenshot. I think this is more important because if I'm going to get into this one, we will skip out on many other important things, which is going to brainstorm basically. There are two slides. One of this for engineering, medical sciences, management. These are some very important ones, but there are many other colleges who conduct their own entrance examinations. There are direct admissions, and there are multiple other things that's happening.
For engineering, JEE is not the only exam.
Yes.
There are 30 more exams.
CUET also has options.
And 30 more exams. Don't just say that, okay, JEE nahi hua to main ab kya karu.
Yeah.
There are 30 more exams. So be informed, be prepared.
So start from, understanding where you belong. Now this one, you can take the screenshot for this one too. Dr. Rao had a question that, CA wale log kya kare, CA ke alawa kya hota hai. So there are many others. One is for internationally acclaimed ACCA, that is for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, which is valid internationally. Then there is CFA, financial analysts for them, and there are many others, but there are three more options which are there. We will be informing and we'll let you know, which is already in the booklet as well. CA is not the only option out there. Multiple other things when you're combining it, but yes, there are more. Okay, now we spoke about aptitude. Quickly, psychometric test. Again, few more seconds over here. For parents, we're just letting you know because we don't want to delve into what exactly psychometric. I'm sure you all know, most of you know, and schools might be providing you psychometric test reports as well.
Have given any psychometric
9, 10, 11 graders psychometric test.
Any such test?
Yes, he has, and there's one person right there.
Maybe an immediate test.
Okay.
And when did you give the test? Which?
So last year, okay. You two have given that one. When was that? 9, 10, 11? Okay. Have you seen that report? Okay. Have your parents seen the report? Have you talked about it? Alright, good. So what happens over there is it's a test for somewhere between 30 minutes to 1.5 hours, depending on how the child is taking some general questions about maths, aptitude, understanding, and it aligns you, gives you a report. For parents, we have got some sample reports which you can have a look at after the session. For 8 to 10 graders, it's a different result. And then 11, 12, they are different. There are different platforms which give it. So we have a couple of them right now. You can come and have a look at after the session to understand, if you wish to take a psychometric test when you say, I don't know, so वहाँ पे मदद हो जाएगी. Alright, so it goes on these parameters to understand. Then, yes, quick one for parents, please don't be threatened. I've been saying this word in the beginning, the Samandra Bandal jaisa hai. जब हमने शुरू किया था, we had that part, all of us might have seen the changes, the most drastic ones our generation has seen, which they will never be seen. So if AI is coming and use them, let them use it wisely. There is a meme that goes on. What you put in inside AI will give you the result exactly the same way. So how you channelizing it? When many multiple other things came in, which Bhumika is going to cover. So this is going to be replaced on the right side. It will be replaced, yes. It will be augmented, yes. What can't be replaced? What we are actually scared about is empathy within medicine for your relevance, empathy within any field. You in HR, you are in any field. If that is there, it can't be replaced. Creativity and ethical vision, that AI can never do it unless you are training it to do it, right? Agree? Right? And the complex negotiation, you have to train it. So even humans are training it, it's not getting done by itself, right? So we should not be scared, we should be incorporating or at least becoming aware of it is most important out there. And children, be very responsible when you're doing that one. Please understand the basics.
Let's give them an example.
Yeah.
How many of you are using ChatGPT? So whosoever is using ChatGPT, you are basically labs. You are labs. Whatever information you are giving it, if you are not using a paid version, whatever you are doing, you are training them. You are not using them, they are using you. So whatever you put in, do not put your personal information. Okay? Try and be responsible while you are asking questions. ChatGPT or AI is not responsible for anything. Okay?
We already have the disclaimer
Yes.
at the end.
They have the disclaimer and they'll go away with it. So what you are asking, be responsible what you are asking. There is a case that is going on wherein, if you have heard in the news, a child committed a suicide and that child was asking again and again, repeatedly to the ChatGPT, how do I commit suicide? And that ChatGPT did not raise the alarm to the parent company, to the parents. It was under parental supervision. It did not alarm them. Okay, so be responsible. Okay, that's fine.
Gemini does inform you about that. When you ask something like this, there's a difference between many AI platforms. Explore that too. ChatGPT is only the basic one out there. There are so many out there that people are developing it every single day. And there was an information out there as well that when yes, it's a political one, I generally don't bring it, but it was used in the recent wars as well. Another one called cloud. How many of you have you heard about it? Yes? Yeah. Use it responsibly. Very, very, very important. Okay, this one. I just wanted to understand that, when you look at the left hand side and when you look at the right hand side, just quickly, few more seconds. I'm going to read it for people who are at the back. So you have a similar degree. Let's just take it. Don't take it as that CS degree. Just take it any degree. You have a standard. CSB brought it because that is the most demanding when you say engineering. Better question is computer sciences, right? So when you're saying that, are you bringing in? Let's say you have that. Is it enough? Is the question which you have to ask. Are you bringing in something extra? Why should a company hire you when you're done? So, but you have your degree in percentage, you got into an engineering college, you got into the first one. When you get into all the multinational companies, what they tell you, parents from the medicine, there are people, I think, from management or somewhere. I will also, you just go ahead, I'll tell you.
Nokia. All of you must be knowing Nokia. So, demand didn't came in like मुझे computer science engineer चाहिए, मुझे coder चाहिए नहीं. हमारा कजाकिस्तान में एक प्रोजेक्ट है. कोडर को कजाकिस्तान की ज्योग्राफी पता होनी चाहिए, उसको टावर कैसे लगते हैं वो भी पता होना चाहिए, वायर्स कैसे कनेक्ट होंगे ये भी पता होना चाहिए, और कोडिंग तो आनी ही चाहिए और लैंग्वेज भी आनी चाहिए. कितनी स्किल्स इन्वॉल्व हुई इसमें? So एक स्किल सिर्फ एक कोडिंग करके काम चल जाएगा क्या? That's how the managers are recruiting nowadays. Okay, that's the reality.
I'll give you another one on top of that. Is this one. I'm from geology background, and then people go into IIT as well for petroleum engineering and petrophysics. When you get hired by the companies, they don't ask you what you're bringing in, what education, and leave it aside. You know how to drive a truck, because you're going into remote. You will be into the fields. Do you know how to sustain? We can teach you what you want. You can leave it. This is what it is. If you're bringing in your skill, you can say that this is what I know. This is what I'm bringing in on the table. This is why you should hire me. This is the difference between that one only right now, which was applicable a few years ago. Right now, it was there in very specific field. Right now, it is applicable to everything. Everything, you name it, and you should have that one. So remember all those things. This is why it was shown that, if you're hiring someone, you're going to go for this by default. When there is someone, I don't have to train. Right? Something else is coming up. That person bringing something more to that one, apart from value. Yes. Okay, so yeah, these are the most important thing, and something which I always say, strategy is your architecture and resilience is your fuel. Whatever be the situation, if you are not resilient from within, you will not be able to survive. I think doctors cannot agree more that situations are the worst when you ask for the least. That one thing that keeps going on is resilience. Anybody understand the topic of resilience? I think I'm going to hand it over to Kirti, because she is going to actually tell you that whatever practical clarity I have tried to, explain over here from the topics which she's giving in, and I think I heard from Dr. Rao that people are curious, let's see, and I'm handing over to Kirti right now.
Everyone, my name is Kirti, as you all know. I'm sure you must have enjoyed the previous session a lot, right? So, thank you, Bhavya, for enlightening us. So, session 1 was all about what to choose, right? We've seen a lot of things, a lot of thought process is already going on in your mind right now. But yes, through this session, we will understand how to think. So you still have a lot to carry forward from this session today. So yes, I am talking about emotional intelligence here. Any one of you can give me one simple line. What does emotional intelligence mean to you? Anyone?
You can ask Dr. Rawat.
Not very much.
Just whatever brings into your mind, come on.
Which comes to your mind when you hear this word?
In Kierkegaard, and he said life can only be understood backwards, but it must be looked forward. He's a very famous philosopher, his name is Kierkegaard, and I think that like really applies to everything and every possibility in life. So at our present moment, clarity is very difficult to find, but we just have to go through with it. We have to let momentum drive us, not reward. So,
Excellent. Yes. So I'm going to stand now, right? So I will give you a basic definition of emotional intelligence, right? So in a very simple language, I would say emotional intelligence is about understanding the feelings, your own feelings, the feelings.
How many of you parents have ever asked this question from your children? How are you feeling today?
Yes.
That's perfect. Please applaud. Because that is where we really connect. आपका दिन कैसा था? That's not important. आपने पढ़ लिया? That's not important.
Yes.
Assignment पूरा हो गया? That's not. How are you feeling? Because that's the feeling that the children want to feel. The safe soul.
This is the question that my kids ask me, and I learned from them that
How wonderful! How wonderful! How wonderful! The kids should ask and the parents should ask.
This is nice.
At dinner table, the starting point should be this. How are you feeling today? आज क्या क्या फील कर रहा? गुस्सा आया? कोई बात नहीं सर, 4 दिन लगेंगे, 6 दिन लगेंगे, महीना लगेगा, 1 महीने बाद जवाब आएगा।
मैडम मार्केट इज सेइंग शक्लें देख के पता लग जाता है।
कोई बात नहीं सर, लेकिन ये प्रैक्टिस में लाएंगे ना, वो प्रैक्टिस मेक्स अ मैन परफेक्ट। ऐसे ही स्किल ऑफ नेचर ना चाहिए
So let me assure you, after this session, your problem will be solved. Even for all the parents, I'm also a parent of a Gen Z, so I can very much understand, college after 2 months. So I know what happens, the mindset, how it works. So yes, I will assure you, once you will, understand this session and move forward after it, there will be a difference definitely. So yes, so I was saying that EQ means understanding the feelings. How you understand your feelings, how you're understanding the feelings of people around you, and how you're using that particular understanding to your best purpose, right? To deal with them wisely. How using that intelligence which is in you of understanding people in your favor. So yes, emotional intelligence, as she also rightly said, I really liked what she said. I'm sure Gen Z is right now the most smartest generation I've ever seen till now. Gen Alpha is yet to come, so we'll see what they are up to. But yes, up till now we have seen that they are very much aware. And which I really like is that at least you come forward and talk. But I don't know why not with parents. Yes, but we'll solve that.
They don't have group code with their parents.
Maybe yes. Maybe yes.
So we have to have a group code with your friends. Discuss with them. Have a group code with your parents also. Just tell them. Like I practice this one with my kids. I'm just giving a real life example. So when they want me to be their friend, they say bro code. So then I become a friend, not a parent. I don't think like a parent. So have a bro code with your parents.
Yeah.
So yes,
Magically, all of them are parents, and they are pretty much out there. That when the children are actually moving into colleges, so mine are literally picking up, but I see that as well. So mine are literally behind. These guys are.
So yes, definitely I can agree. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand feelings and respond wisely. Right? Once you understand, your response changes, and it is one of the most important factor of career thinking. Let me tell you, it is the most important driver of how you are making decisions in your life. And during the course of this session also, we will see how this skill changes the quality of your career decisions, the quality of the parent-child conversations, yes, and even anyone who handles pressure, the dynamics will change. So let's start with the session. Right. So we are talking about emotional intelligence and career planning. And whenever we heard about EI, which is I'll be referring to the same word as EI to be big short. So whenever we think of EI, we immediately think like, is it only about feelings? But that's a valid question, but it is just more than that. Feelings is a part of it, but yes, EQ is much bigger than this. And it is not only the soft side of success. Is one of the strongest drivers of how people think, how people perform, how they lead, and how they grow. And as you can see from the data here as well, a large part of the job performance is linked to EQ. Right? Yes, so we can say a large part of job performance is linked to EQ now, right? And World Economic Forum also says that EQ is one of the most top-rated skills in the near future. So as we can see that EQ is very much there, we need to understand what exactly it is. We need to incorporate it in our daily lives so that we become unstoppable going forward. Does this change your thinking about EQ now? You think it is more relevant?
Yes.
How many of you have ever worked in a corporate?
All tied up with the
corporate. So now when the C-suite is decided, okay, the management is deciding, Under the leadership, there is one very important factor, that is EQ. How are you rated on the EQ by your employees? That is the deciding factor whether you are suited for that role or not.
They take psychometric tests
They
there.
take psychometric test at the leadership level also.
And the best part is, you can learn and develop EQ at any age.
हेल्थ
It is
में
not age specific.
हेल्थ कॉर्पोरेट में कितने पेशेंट है रेवेन्यू क्या
Actually,
Agree.
वो अलग
That is separate part. Okay. So, you are doing this every day, parents. This is maybe one of your, a part of your daily interaction, I would say. Just assume that you meet someone, and before they say anything, you can sense that something is not right. You face this, parents? Somewhere at a point in your life, what you do? You automatically adjust your tone. Yes? You soften your voice based whatever you are observing right now. And you maybe ask a different question than the one which you were supposed to ask. So what is this? Can you tell me what is this? Why are you doing this? Because emotional intelligence is in action. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. So if you look at the in daily life, what you do, you sense what someone is feeling even before they say it, right? You adjust your tone based on the situation, correct? It is for both parents and children as well. You handle difficult conversations with empathy whenever it is required, yes? And you also ask questions to understand. If you are not able to judge, you are not judging there, you are understanding what the person is feeling or maybe saying. There is no judgment here. And you stay patient, yes? So we are doing this every day. But the thing is, we need to understand that we need to bring that awareness at home. You know, that same emotional intelligence at home as well. I think most of you must be agreeing with me right now. The way we understand people at our workplace is very, very different from the way we understand people at home. Do you find it difficult? You know, you sometimes say, I'm not able to understand my child. Very well understand your colleagues. Something there is missing, right? So we need to understand. Just assume that, it has happened, I'm sure, with all of us. Child walks in after the school. Okay, they are not in a good mood. Maybe had a tiring day in school. Maybe something went wrong. What we do as a parent? You straight away ask what happened. It's their wish. Most of the time they will not even tell what happened. Based on our tone sometimes. Yes. Based on the way we have asked. So yes, we have to be very, very conscious. We have to make that extra conscious effort there to understand what they are feeling, giving them space to respond. They may or may not share, but we jump to conclusions straight away. We start giving solutions, right? This ever happens to, I think, must have happened to most of the parents here, right? Right, children? Have you faced this? Somewhere or at some point in time in your life, right? Someone is smiling out there. Happens with me also. So we are all the same. Yes. But how to address that? You know, like sir said, that बच्चे बोलते नहीं हैं when we parents ask. We need to understand that we need to give them space. Yes? We, like Bhumi also mentioned, Bhumika also mentioned, we need to ask them how you feel. We have to sense that, and we are, smart enough. They are our kids after all. We know them. We know them. Situations. So we need to judge that. Be proactive enough to understand that what is required at this situation right now. So yes, instead of giving them solutions straight away, we can say that yes, we understand what you're feeling right now. Take your time, and we are there available for you. We are there whenever you want. We are all ears for you. Correct? Yes. So now I guess you are able to understand how EQ is playing its part. It is there present in all of us. We have to make that conscious effort to understand and maybe to some extent take it out whenever required.
For parents, there's a little activity when you go back, write down what your children's energy gets drained out with, what are the days when they feel left out.
Yeah, I think
there has to be a pattern with the timetable. but there has to be a pattern with where and what happened. So when you do that one, you'll be able to find their interest as well out of that one, you know. It will make it easier with the conversation when you don't know what else to talk about. अच्छा लगा नहीं अच्छा लगा की बात पता ही नहीं है क्या पूछो, because the person is shutting out. So when you go back, write this one down from the emotional point of view and the practical point of view, what happened and what are the, just look at the timetable quickly. I'm sure it is difficult, but you can still find time out. Okay, these are the days when the child probably feels. So give some better motivation for those days.
Yeah, we'll be covering those in coming slides.
I'll give them one example. I'll just give a personal example. What activity she discussed. So I have two daughters. One is in class 12th, one is in class 6th. So the elder one, I observed she has energy right when she comes back from her school. She wants to blabber everything about her school right there and then. Right the moment she will step down, she will start laughing. But the younger one, if I ask her the same question, how was your day? What did you do? She is shut. She is drained. She will not answer. For the few days, I asked her and she was irritated. She did not answer. She is a night lighter. So I asked her the same question after dinner and she has thousands of stories to tell. So we need to understand the pattern when they have the energy, when they don't have. And at the right time you are asking them, they are ready to share because they have the energy. Understand their rhythm.
It's kind of like an icebreaker when you want to have a conversation.
Yes.
So, okay, yes, bring that emotional intelligence when you are dealing with your child. Okay, so on the right hand side, you can see that, you know, I'll just read it down for the people who are sitting at the back. So, do you notice their signs or you just jump to conclusions or solutions? Just think about it. Do you match their emotional state or they just try to correct it? You know, ऐसा नहीं होता है, why you feeling bad? ये तो बहुत छोटी सी बात है. For us, maybe it is, but for them, maybe it is not. So we need to match their emotional state. Do you acknowledge their feelings? That is very good.
Try.
आजकल के बच्चे, like her daughter is, you know, quite opposite to mine. She said the moment she steps out, she starts blabbering. My daughter is moving to college after 2 months. I have to literally push her sometimes. भूल जाती हूँ मैं कि हाँ इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस का भी ध्यान रखना है, right? But I make a conscious effort. I have to make that with her. I have to deal her in a very different way. She stays quiet. Something bad happens, she's quiet. I have to judge that. I have to match her mental state. You know, I have to match how she's thinking. I have to, whenever she's in a bad mood, not talking to me, one sentence I simply say and walk out is like, whenever you feel like talking, please come back. And trust me, she comes back. Maybe even after a day or two, but she comes. So this is how we have to understand and deal. And trust me, parents, mom and dad, especially moms, nobody knows your child better than you. So you know how to adjust everything, right? We move ahead. It's a simple data here we can see. And whenever we talk about soft skills, the word soft makes us think that maybe it's optional. You know, even if I don't have it, doesn't matter. I'm working on my hard skills. I'm not in that degree, you know, I'm doing engineering. Soft skills the way. What's the big deal? No, it is not optional, let me tell you, especially in this age. Yes, we are millennials, some 90s के बच्चे थे. हमारे टाइम पे तो चल भी जाता था, but not now. The competition is very high. You can see the research here, right? Again, I have to read the same sentence. Job performance is, long-term success is linked to EQ in your job. In fact, everywhere. We need success both in our professional life and our personal life as well. If we balance both, our life will be much, much better and beautiful going forward. Yes. So yes, professionals की तो हम बात करते हैं, but we need to incorporate the same feelings in our personal lives as well. Because career nowadays are not about knowing only things like which skills सीख लिया, engineering कर लिया, doctor बन गए. What after that? You learn to need to handle that pressure. How you work with people, how you remain steady when things are difficult, right? So, what what you understand like this. Emotional intelligence is playing its role here, very silently. I'll share one example from my banking days. I joined one of the most rigorous bank, I would say. Everyone, I mean, banking industry people know that the most difficult bank to work with is HDFC. Okay? So I've spent 10 years working there. Started off as a teller, the one who I was into retail banking all throughout. I handled that cash counter. You must have seen. How many of you walked into a bank with your parents sometimes? Any bank, it could be a national bank or a private bank, right?
It's a free hand raise anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen the rush? You must have seen the rush sometimes, especially at the cash counter. Yes. So I would be sitting here having a line of 20 people ahead of me. And what they do, they keep on showing, ma'am, jaldi karo na, we are getting late. You must have heard this. You must have lost your tongue. But the person who is sitting here is not able to concentrate what they are doing because they are dealing with the money. People's money, not their own money. You have to be 10 times extra careful when you are dealing with the money of other people. Yes. And as a 21, 22-year-old, I am talking about way back in early 2000s, right? 25 years. I was there sitting as a 21-year-old, just straight out of college, moving into a bank, sitting there because the bank has generally this policy of recruiting people at that time, especially freshers, right? We looking there and terrified. Man, jaldi karo. Obviously, when you are new, the speed is very slow. That is the thing. At that time, there was no knowledge. Even our bosses, our colleagues, everyone was like, they want the rush to know. They will not understand what you are feeling as a person, right? No emotional intelligence at all, right? At that time, even corporates were not even, bothered. ठीक है करना आपको करना है खत्म करो रश लाइन खत्म करो the worst days would have been जब 3-4 दिन बैंक की छुट्टी के बाद बैंक खुलता है those are the most worst days, the nightmares for us, people like us. Okay, so yes, bank is not bothered. They want the work done. कल को गलती होगी they put it on you. This is how it works, right? So the thing is, the way we work, the way we do, thankfully nowadays corporates are learning this. Things are changing, right? Things are changing a lot. People are getting aware of a lot of things where they need to understand that yes, if the employee is not feeling right, they are taking a note of it and trying to correct it.
Also, the environment is changing for banking. It's a friendly bank. Now it goes on like that. So the promotion you'll see as friendly banking, come here for an experience.
Yes, it is changing a lot.
This is EQ.
Also add to this, why EQ is, so we all know managers, we all know bosses, right? But how do we differentiate between a manager and a leader? Anil Ambani versus Ratan Tata. किसके लिए ज़्यादा respect आता है? Abdul Kalam versus somebody else. Yeah, they were leaders. They had that emotional intelligence in them. They connected with people at emotional level, at personal level. They are regarded as leaders, right? Those who can connect emotionally, personally. Those who gets the job done as a manager, as a boss, right?
And even all the higher management.
That is the difference between the EQ and just getting the job done.
Yes, they want people with high EQ, with strong EQ, so that they can sustain that. Pressure will inevitably be there. Even as a student, even when you enter any job market, pressure will definitely be there. But you have to, learn to switch that pressure into your favor and not let that affect you anymore. So are you able to relate now to how important skill is, for our success, for success? So definitely it is not an extra. It is a measurable advantage which will work in our favor if we learn how to use it rightly. So yes, I'll be mentioning quickly about daily relevance 5 pillars, which are the pillars of, I would say, emotional intelligence. Okay, and they become even more powerful when we connect them to our daily lives. We don't have to make any extra effort here. You have to only understand. So like you can say, see on the screen here, there is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. All of them are interlinked with each other. All of them are building upon each other. So self-awareness is the, you can say, the stage where we learn how to explore ourselves. Like Navya also mentioned, what energizes you the most, what drains you the most, what you like, what you don't like. We generally ask the question, what are you good at? Okay, you also say, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. But do you really enjoy it? Good at being something, I mean, if I'm good at something, I'm good at my natural skill, but do I enjoy it? The things which I enjoy, there is a high possibility that I will sustain those things maybe forever in my life. It could be as simple as sketching or drawing. It may not be a direct skill or a direct, I would say, job profile for you maybe, but yes, it gives you happiness because you enjoy it. Yes. So this is what we need to understand. So self-awareness will help you to understand what energizes you and what drains you. Okay? Then once we understand about our own self, that once we are aware of our own self, it will not come in one day, trust me, it will take time. You have to make that conscious effort. It may take months, it may take years, but definitely if you are making conscious efforts, you will get the results soon. So now we talk about self-regulation. Okay?
Self-awareness we are talking about. Children, especially for you, it's an exercise. Before you make a decision what subjects you want to choose, what you want to become, know yourself better. Your energies, your interest, what you are as a person. मुझे ये दोस्त नहीं पसंद, क्यों नहीं पसंद है? Ask that question. What in him I don't like? क्यों नहीं पसंद है? ये पता होना चाहिए ना. क्या पसंद है से पहले ये पता होना चाहिए कि क्यों मुझे खाने में भिंडी पसंद नहीं.
That is even much better. When you know, I don't like something I like.
At least ये तो पता है ना अपने बारे में. So start with these small steps. What I don't like. Then come to the question, what I like. What I like to do. Once you know yourself better, you will be able to take a better decision for yourself.
What is elimination? When you eliminate something, you have better clarity. The molecule of water gets a little better off when you try to take the dirt out of it. At least the most bigger ones, take it out and you get clearer. Then you try to sort it out. So it becomes like a sorting. Anybody remembers from the science chapters, 6, 7, 8, 9 sorting. So you sort it out. Take the bigger ones out, take the smaller ones out, eliminate, and it will become easier. So the first 4 times that we shared in the beginning for the Ikigai, this is all related.
Yes.
When you link back, this is all related. That's why we brought it over here.
And elimination technique will help you in your examination, entrance examinations also. Once you start identifying the patterns,
Yeah.
this I know, this I don't know. Negative marking में marks नहीं कटेंगे. At least you are able to identify the patterns. So it's an exercise. If you start practicing daily for 5 minutes, understanding yourself, this I like, अपने दिन में रोज आज के दिन में ये हुआ, ये मुझे अच्छा लगा, ये मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा. You're training your brain to identify the patterns, and that's how you will excel in your exams also. It's just an exercise.
Okay. So now we talk about self-regulation. Can anyone tell me what does that mean without reading? So self-regulation is very, very simple. We talked about feelings. Yes, we know emotional intelligence is largely linked to dealing with feelings, whether it's our feelings or the people around us. The feelings of people around us or our feelings. Regulation is how you handle those feelings. All the days are not same. Some may be bad, some may be good. But how you stay steady under pressure, how you stay steady under stress. It's all about resilience. So how you regulate your emotions. You will gradually understand what you are feeling. Like Bhumika said, patterns. Even to understand, like she rightly mentioned, even Bhavi also said, we have a pattern. We all have some kind of pattern. We're just not paying attention to it. You make that conscious effort, what our behavioral patterns are. we will be able to correct them to a large extent. We have to make that extra effort. We have to be self-aware. Then only we will be able to self-regulate ourselves. Yes? So how you can turn pressure into focus and setbacks into growth once you are able to regulate your emotions. So these are the two pillars you can say which will take you to the next one, which is motivation. Yes, we feel less motivated at times. Yes, we like someday, we might not like the other day because we are still just not motivated to follow that. Right? We all face it. Right? Sometimes we are like very enthusiastic. Oh, ye to karna hai, we finish karna hai in the last 1 or 2 hours. And somebody will like just I don't feel like doing it. Nothing wrong with it as such. But how you need to continue your inner drive. Anyone, any student here present can share something with me, like if they wish to. What is the most, you can say, what is the most important activity for them? Which they really enjoy. It could be anything. It could be as simple as walking.
It's
Going for a walk.
Your notepads. Okay, write your activities, and also on the last page, write the questions that you want to share. Okay, and that you're not able to share openly, but you want to share, you want to discuss. We will sit back and discuss later. Each one of anything. It could be any question related to your career, any problem in the school, any confusion with anything. Just the activity that she has asked for, okay, any activity that you like, and questions that you want to be addressed. Please write them down. Share with us. Yes, sir?
Apart from sleeping.
Apart from sleeping.
No, that also is a part of it. That why do you feel sleepy like this also? Which topic actually makes you feel sleepy is also relevant.
Yes. And you don't need to write your name.
Yeah.
Just write the questions. This activity you write on the first page. The questions you write on the last page. Just submit the questions. One by one we will answer to that without addressing any child with their name. Is that clear? Just write the question.
Where it is coming from. We will only read the
Anonymous questions. Okay?
just we are just trying to address it without actually naming it. Even if we are not
judging, we are not going to tell your parents, "Acha, aapke bacche ne pucha." No. That is not good. Bro code. Okay? We are keeping the bro code on.
Okay, so we were talking about motivation, so that inner drive that helps us to continue even when nobody is watching, nobody is praising, nobody is noticing even. It will help you to sustain for a longer period of time. Definitely, we enjoy something, we don't realize it that time we are. For some people, it is just listening to music. For some, it is sketching. For some, it is drawing. Right? For some, it could be reading. So yes, motivation is the inner drive that helps you continue. Since now we are learning about emotional intelligence and how feelings, regulate within us, it would be really important for us if we move ahead with them. Empathy is no longer a trait for doctors. I would say it's required in every field. Right? Empathy, you need it wherever you go. No matter whether it's a job, it's a working place, whether it's your office, whether it's your school or college, you need to show empathy. You need to understand how another person is feeling or what they are looking for. So, all these 5 pillars of daily involvement, in some way or the other, are building your emotional resilience in some way or the other. You are building upon your emotional quotient, like we talk about IQ. EQ is also there. Pay attention towards that. Then you see that more in the future. So yes, once we are self-aware, we are able to self-regulate. And don't worry, it need not be 100% all the time. Even we are able to regulate one single emotion, that is enough. We all are working in progress. Okay? Nobody is perfect out there. So yes, self-awareness, self-regulation. You are able to get motivated for whatever you are doing. You are able to show empathy to others. What all these 4 things are doing for you? Can anyone tell me how it comes down to? It comes down to building your social skills, right? We all are people who live in a society. We deal with people, we interact with them, we meet them, right? What are we doing? We're working on our social skills. You must be having people around you, some people whom you don't like at all, some people you like a lot, right? Anyone, it could be anyone around you. Maybe in your school or in your society, anywhere. So, the social skills which you build consciously by working on your other 4 pillars will help you gain trust among your peers. Will help you gain trust among your colleagues when you move forward. You will be able to communicate well because you are understanding people in a better manner. Your communication will be very, very different. Agree? And
One thing, it's social skills. There's something called as networking.
yes, I was coming to that.
Nobody can survive without this in this era.
It is required now.
So when you don't have the social skill, you can't survive the networking pressure that comes on. Validation is not.
And why networking is also important, you mentioned MEP also. A lot of you are changing, seeing the changes in MEP, curriculum that is being provided, multiple assessment activities being introduced in your schools.
How many of you have felt or heard about from your seniors that the course was different, it has changed in last 2 years, have you? Yes. Mostly 11th, 10th graders have heard about this one. Younger ones probably won't even bother that if anything is changing.
So basically, this change is happening to introduce this social skill. More collaborative projects, teamwork, okay, to identify leadership skills in you, to identify teamwork in you. Okay, so you have to do projects as a team. You need social skills. How to communicate your thoughts, how to put your thoughts into action, how to outperform amongst others, how to make your mark in a small class presentation also. So these are small building blocks which are training you for future.
Yes. So rightly mentioned, networking. You must have heard a lot of Gen Zs today are interested in having their own startups, right? We know the idea, we have a brilliant idea with us, but we don't know how to execute it. It happens, yes. Something there is in my mind which is very unique and very exciting, but I don't know how to take it forward. What it requires, all these 4 pillars, right? And again, like she mentioned, if you have something of your own, even if you are working for your own brand or you're working with someone else, networking is the key. And once you develop all your social skills, this will come naturally to you. It take time to prepare. The sooner you start, I guess, the better it is for you. So yes, all these 5 pillars you can note it down, or maybe you can take a picture, whatever is convenient for you, are the core pillars of emotional intelligence. So you can refer back to them, understand, and then move forward. Nothing. We cannot learn anything in just 1 or 2 days. We need to build upon it. The skills, whatever the skill building is one such domain, I would say, in career planning, which is built gradually. But you have to make that conscious effort. You have to, show that confidence. As simple as switching on your camera in a movie day. That is also confidence. Right? That is the one step which you have already taken for yourself. I see a lot of children when we take Zoom sessions there, the cameras are switched off. Right? We have to consciously tell them, please switch on. It's even better, if you are able to look at your faces, but they are not able to. So they find it so difficult to show their faces. Why? Because some people are there who are visible, but some are not. So that is the reason, we get lost somewhere. The college life is totally different from the school life. Trust me, I'm researching a lot of colleges right now for my own kid. And from the people I understand, whomsoever I speak to, they're like, the college life is not at all, it's not at all a controlled environment, I would say. The kids are on their own. They're like, okay, the kid has to do everything on their own. The professors will not, school mein kya rehta hai? Teachers will come to you and ask you. They will not come and ask you. You have to come there and ask. Then only they will notice you. It's completely opposite also. So, what you have to do, you have to build on your social skills and networking skills. How you network with your seniors in colleges, how you network with your seniors in school. How to talk to them, understand them. Speak to your professors. to your teachers. This is the first step of building those social skills and building your network. These same people will be never know. Will in future maybe able to help you in one way or the other because you build that network maybe 2-3 years ago with them. They know you, they remember you, right? So that is why all these 4 domains play a very, very important role in choosing a career, yes, and sustaining the career as well. And my question is to students right now, you're seeing all the 5 pillars. Which one do you think matters the most for to you right now? You can write it. Like, yeah, I need to work on my, yeah, I need to, work on my social skills a bit. Just note it down for you and you can work upon it. Yes. Okay. So a disclaimer here, this is not an anti-academics message. Okay. So absolutely, IQ matters, marks also matter. Academic strength also matters. Yes. IQ will help you. I mean, I'm talking about the students here. IQ will help you to enter that room. Maybe that prestigious institution, maybe an Ivy League or my dream college, or maybe that my dream role, my dream job. IQ will help you get in there. But once you are in that room, what happens after? You are already there, you've taken the admission, or you are already in that job role which you were dreaming, you were aiming since many years, you're already there. Let's take an example of Google. Many people aspire to be, right? Work in Google. So just assume you are in Google. How will you will do your work, that's fine. EQ now comes into play. EQ will now decide how you deal with people, how you deal with your bosses, how you deal with your colleagues, how you handle pressure, how you handle growth. So it is, we have always seen people saying that IQ versus EQ. No, it is not at all true. It's never IQ versus EQ. It's always IQ plus.
Give an example for IQ. So those who were aspiring to go abroad, raise your hand again.
Talk more. Raise your hands.
Raise your hand. I'm not asking you.
Then the session for you. Get that confidence. Raise your hand.
Sure. So IQ and EQ is both required there. How? Can anyone explain? IQ is your marks. Okay. EQ, one of the most important project that they see in your profile is social impact project. Do you know what social impact project is? Anybody? Those who are aspiring to go abroad?
Or just general.
In general, what is the social impact project?
Answer over 11, 12, come on.
Come on, come on.
And everybody is reaching out to getting projects in schools, we are sure.
Any project or any task that you perform or do which is actually landing a real life impact in the society.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And how you're proving that? How? What do you want to see from that? Your emotional quotient. How do you have the empathy? How, do you relate to the society? Do you relate to the problems? Do you really want to impact? Right? They are all testing you on EQ. So it is not just one skill. It is something that you are aspiring to work towards. Because if you want the admission there, you have to work on these skills. Otherwise, you will not get an admission. Only working with an NGO, I worked 12 hours, 100 hours with an NGO, it will not matter. If you have the EQ skills, then only you will be able to explain your project in a way that nobody else can do. And once they see your SOP, just by one word, one line, they understand whether you have the EQ or not. Because once you are emotionally connected with your project, then only you can put it down in words.
Yeah, it's very SOP, whoever doesn't know SOP, it is a statement of purpose. It's a personal message which is required for special institutions abroad, but yes, nowadays required for private colleges as well. We are asking for SOPs.
Your name is Shaka, University, there's a university for AI as well. So everywhere, wherever you're going for the control,
Yes. So it's
where this is required. Your SOPs will have to reflect what you actually mean from inside and what you're bringing in again.
through your SOP, they should come to know who you are as a person. As simple as that. It has to be genuine, it has to be honest, and it has to be thoughtful. So yes, we were talking about IQ and EQ. So it's always IQ first, then building EQ alongside it, right? So the combination of IQ and EQ is a sure shot formula for success, both in personal life and as well as your professional life, right? So you can take a note of it. This sequence is making sense now to you? Are you able to relate to it? Are you able to understand? So Bhavya initiated the concept of Ikigai. So we'll just move a little bit forward. We already know that Ikigai is a reason for being. The basic definition is this: a point where your passion, your skills, your purpose, and your livelihood come together. The intersection of all these things is your Ikigai, your purpose of being, why you are there. So it is even more useful when we look at Ikigai through the lens of the first question, which is a part of Ikigai framework, is what do I love? Where it comes from? Self-awareness, which we've already seen in those 5 domains, right? So what you love, you will come to know from self-awareness exercise, which we've already told you in the beginning of the session as well. You can note down the tasks, activities which you enjoy the most. It could be a subject, it could be anything else apart from that. Not necessarily be an academics subject. So yes, what do I love? It needs self-awareness. The first step to find your Ikigai. Yes. So I've already spoken about it, that what energizes you, what drains you. You need to work on your motivation, the intrinsic drive which can keep you moving forward when nobody is even watching you. Self-regulation, again we talked about how to regulate your emotions. So yes, this is how the EQ is playing its part in finding your Ikigai. Now the intersection, the livelihood, what I am good at, I figured that out. What am I really doing? She rightly mentioned the social impact. What the world needs. To understand the answer to this question, it needs empathy. Right? We need to understand. Even if we're trying to do something which is largely socially driven, we need to be empathetic enough to understand. A student may be good at many things, but the career decisions become stronger when their inner interest and the real world needs begin to connect, right? So you need to find that connection. So parents or even students, you can ask your child or students, you can ask yourself, what problem in the world would you or would I actually want to fix? It could be anything. That will give you your reason for being. And it will also give you insight into what the child or what the student cares about. Not only what they are good at. We are good at many things. We know we are good at playing basketball, we are good at sketching, we are good at football. But what do I really enjoy is the question you need to ask yourself. Right? Then only you will be, the decisions which you take for your career, for your life, they shift from pressure to purpose, because you're finding that purpose. You're working towards that. Does this feel more meaningful now? Choosing something based on your purpose rather than only marks. Marks is definitely there, but it's only a one part. We have to look at the other part as well. Right? Agreed?
So let's talk about purpose. Why we choose Ikigai, there is a village in Japan wherein most of the people are living the age of more than 100 years. And there was a study done over there. And what they found was they all had a purpose, even if it was as small as doing gardening in the community farm. Waking up every day, going, meeting 10 people, just digging the ground, saying hello to 5 people. But they all had a purpose. They did not just shut doors and had a lazy life. They woke up every day despite their conditions and they showed up. And that purpose kept them young, kept them active, and they all have lived, most of them have lived 100 plus years.
Because it actually worked on what they
So,
applied.
having a purpose, you all are doctors, right? You all have a purpose to meet your patients, to treat them. And that keeps you active despite your engagements at home, so many other difficulties. I have seen, lived with doctors and I've seen them, like, you have, we work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you work 16 hours a day. And yet you show up every day. It's the purpose that drives you. Obviously the money is there, but
That is the purpose.
but only money cannot drive you. It is your passion that drives
to
you.
do that.
Right?
That's a very big motivation.
It's a combination of money and purpose that will give you everything.
Market, you have to learn market.
You have to learn how to make yourself a brand and still have a purpose. Right?
I'm just bringing it, just reminded one word which we used to often use more than emotional, quotient and resilience, willpower.
It's what I was thinking.
But you just have willpower. When you tell your patient you should have the willpower and trust it and then you keep going. We were told this most often. Willpower. Yeah, it's better off when thinking it.
So yes, it is worth noticing here that the people leading the biggest organizations are also talking about EQ. Mr. Satyanadella has spoken often about empathy, shaping innovation and culture. Mr. Sundar Pichai has said emotional intelligence matters deeply in hiring. We are looking for people who are emotionally strong, so that they are able to sustain the pressure, the job pressure. It will definitely be there, but how you're handling it is the best part. Right? So yes, they are looking for people while they are hiring their emotional quotient. They are checking that. Former CEO of PepsiCo, Ms. Indra Nuri, said if you ignore EI, you will fail. The point is simple here. At the highest level, people are looking for human maturity. So when global leaders like them, when they value EQ, they are telling us something important about the future of it. Right? We are able to understand
Let's give them an
what
example.
the job market is heading towards.
So most of the startups that are starting now, बेस तो सब चीज का मेडिसिन है, इंजीनियरिंग है, आर्किटेक्चर है, सब है. नए नए स्टार्टअप्स आ कहाँ से रहे हैं? कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? क्यों आ रहे हैं? कैसे आ रहे हैं? क्या थिंकिंग लोगों को प्रॉब्लम हो कहाँ रही है? ई कॉमर्स कैसे आया? लोगों को जाने में दिक्कत होती है, टाइम नहीं है, ई कॉमर्स आ गया. लोगों की परेशानी समझी ना, इनोवेशन समझिए ना, तभी तो आया ना. हेल्थ केयर, डिजिटल हेल्थ केयर क्यों आया है? डॉक्टर्स डोंट हैव टाइम कि इतने सारे पेशेंट्स को फिजिकली देख ले. राइट? ड्यूरिंग द कोविड एरा द नीड वाज देयर, पीपल अंडरस्टूड द नीड, came in. It's a huge industry.
Reference psychology and economics combination.
Most of the new startups are coming on by understanding the emotions of people. Right?
People are being hired
People are being hired for
to
that.
learn the data and
To learn the data, understand where people will invest, किस तरीके की investment करेंगे. Right? War is going on. एकदम से price crash होता है. क्यों? Emotions पे होता है. People fear कि अच्छा वहाँ तो war चल रही है, उस country की company में पैसा नहीं लगाना है. It's based on emotions. चाहे पैसा हो या नहीं हो, उस कंपनी के शेयर डाउन जाए या नहीं जाए, पर fear takes over you. You will not invest, right? So
They need to use self-regulation.
every sector is tapping on emotions. They are building big out of it.
So that can be a motivation too.
Motivation to incorporate emotional intelligence in your daily lives. It could be even one simple thing. Write it down for yourself.
That's a very small thing, but it can make it big for you.
Initially, to start off with, this will definitely require a little bit of, I would say, effort from your side, But once you make it a habit, it will come to naturally. So yeah, does this shift how you see career success now? You think it's only marks or that one particular course? Right? You think it is still there or you need more than that? More than that, how many say more than that? Raise your hand. Only one child needs, no? It is definitely more than that. Now this is the most interesting part of this session. Parents will like it. I think students will also like it. Yes? Okay. So as you can see on the screen, what it is a framework which I have, thought of incorporating, especially to have those career conversations at home in a much easy manner, without any arguments, just plain simple discussions. So, it is a simple way to make career conversations more effective and more useful, so that you arrive at some outcome. There is no fight, which generally happens, and the discussion has ended there and then, never to be done again. No, we don't want that. So yes, if we come to H, the leftmost, H means hold space. Right? We talked about it briefly in the second or third slide. So hold space, what does that mean? It means you need to have that as a parent. You need to, give space to your child to open up, understand their feelings first and foremost, understand how they are feeling, and maybe in any particular situation, just try to assess the mindset, the state of mind which the child is in. So let the child finish, without interrupting. Even if you feel that urge to say in between, just hold your thoughts and let them finish. The silence is not here to fill. The gap which silence creates is not here to fill. It is there to introspect, to listen patiently, listen carefully, not to react but to respond. So yes, the first thing is hold space. Once the child has spoken to you, it could be a very small thing. I'm not even saying that every time will happen in career conversations only, even in your daily life, right? So only when they are able to complete what they are saying, you come to E, which is explore. Now here you can ask questions. Ask open-ended questions. Let them
Generally, what happens?
give answers.
So, children, let's talk to you about this. Whenever you're discussing anything with your parents regarding your career, selecting a subject or anything, what is it that you fear the most? Anybody?
Sorry?
It's for the children. So anything is something that you hold back, ये नहीं discuss करना. Let them write.
Yes, please.
लिखो. Because we will address so that your parents also understand the perspective.
किसी का नाम नहीं लिखना है.
किसी का नाम नहीं लिखना.
Something that is coming out from
What holds you back from freely discussing your choices, your interest? Okay, just write it down. What truly holds you back?
So now in explore stage, which is E, you can ask 2 to 3 open-ended questions. For example, your child comes to you and says, "Mama, I want to be a musician. I really like playing some instrument, maybe guitar. So I want this to to have a career in this field." Immediate reaction, ये कोई career है? It happens. It has happened with us as well. Nothing wrong with it. Because why we are saying this, we are also not wrong. We as parents have never explored that only. Right? So, the question which you are asking is also not wrong. What they are saying is also not wrong. What missing here is emotional intelligence. Only that. Understand what they are saying. Even if they are saying, I want to be a musician, understand where it is coming from. Are they really passionate? Or it's just 2 to 3 days ago, just आया कि चला जाएगा. That we can sense. Even the child will also come to know कि वो 2-3 दिन का मेरा interest था, now it is no longer there. So understand. Saying this. feelings. Give them space to, open up and tell you why, whatever I'm saying as a student, why I'm saying this, my parent needs to understand. You have to give that space to them. Then ask. For example of being a musician, then ask, why are you so curious? Why are you interested in this career? When you research more about it, anything, and if they have researched, they will definitely tell you. So once you ask, only ask as an open-ended question. Still, you are only asking. You are not required to give any solution or any conclusion there as well. You are only listening to what they are saying. You understand if something is coming, where it is coming from. And if you agree, then we'll come to it later. Yes? So, what draws them to the idea? Either they will feel excited or they will have some fear in mind. Okay, banda to hai, but there is a lot of struggle. That is the fear. So yes, acknowledge both the excitement as well as the fear. So automatically after what comes? Acknowledge. Acknowledge to understand. Validate their feelings. Don't say ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. तुम्हें ऐसे ही लगता है. We also, I also said that we all are, somewhere or the other, sometimes doing something which is not right. Yes. So just understand. Only understand. HEA. These three phases are only to understand what the child is feeling, what the child is saying, and how they are going ahead about it. Okay. These three stages will help you as a parent to understand their thought process, and they will also give their child that confidence. My parents are understanding me, and they are listening to me. Not only just for the sake of listening, but for the sake of understanding. So only when these three steps, H, E, A, are done, then you can come to the part which is your favorite part for the parents, redirect. That too gently. Then the guidance part comes. Don't worry, it is there. Because somewhere, somehow, they need that guidance from us. We have seen, world, I would say in much detail. They are still growing. We have grown to that level to understand people, to understand careers, to understand the society. So yes, we will definitely guide them. And who better than the parents? They are the best guide for their children. Trust me, students. Okay? They are the ones who will listen to you, they are the ones who will understand you, and they are the ones who will guide you. So yes, only after the first three steps are over, then we come to redirect. It should always sound like a support, not a verdict. Keep that in mind. It should always be a support. Remember, you are an assistant here, not the authority. Parents, okay? So you can assist them. You can say, okay, let's explore it together, let's understand. Whatever feeling is there, even if you don't agree as a parent, earning a good amount or, having a stable income, being financially independent is very, very important. You understand that, but they are not independent because they are not in that age. So, in a subtle way, in a simple way, like you are understanding them, they will also understand what you are saying. But the communication has to be very fair and open, with emotional intelligence, but not. Yes. So we have to, do these 4 steps to have those wonderful conversations at time. And trust me, parents, children will come to you with all their doubts and queries, and you will be happy to solve them. And this is for you, students. Your parents are always there to listen to you. Just open up a little bit. They are the ones who care for you all the time. Sometimes they are not able to express it in a way they want to, but it is definitely there. So small activity here for the parents. I would insist you to have, not insist, I will take that later, but I will ask you to think of one recent conversation which you had with your child. It could be on anything. If it is a career conversation, then it is okay, but if it is any other conversation, then also it's fine. Which step did you skip? Whatever your steps, like all the steps were skipped.
Any parent volunteer here?
Anyone who wants to speak?
I think मई में शट डाउन हो जाएगा सर, उसके बाद तो गवर्नमेंट नहीं
I want to say one thing. Read अगर gently जो है वो NOs नहीं देना था मैं.
Yeah, it's a task for us, but believe me, there are smaller ones. You don't have to make it a huge, drama serial out of here, but tiny ones where they can probably confide in you. They will just do whatever and however it is, and they will understand that. वो आएगी, वो बुद्धि थोड़े दिन बाद आती है, for sure आएगी. But then we all have been there. Just
We all have been young, we all have made our set of mistakes, we all have learned from our mistakes and grown.
That is why we
They
are,
are in the same stage, they are exploring, we understand them.
as a parent, that
But we have to give them space to understand, हाँ, हमने भी किया. Share your mistakes with them.
I do that all the time.
I do that, I seriously do that. And
Okay.
they are able to relate to it.
Yes. So again, same with the same. I think I will tell the students to note down. If you had any conversation like in the last 2 to 3 months or even before that, note down which step was missing. Right? Okay, we'll go to the next one. I will quickly go through this because we have already discussed the 5 domains. We have simply divided the domains into the career planning structure. So for a class 7, 8 or 9 student, they are at the self-awareness stage. They need to explore their interests through different activities which Bhavya already mentioned. Yes. So as a grade 10 student, whoever are in grade 10, it is a time for self-regulation. It's a pressure year, academics and everything, a whole lot of pressure. You need to feel motivated every day, even if it is for studies or anything else, and you need to learn to regulate your emotions.
Of emotion, one thing that you all need to understand and regulate is regulating your own time limits and boundaries. Yourself, you also need to have your own timetable, right? Your parents don't need to regulate you at this age. You are big enough to have your own timetable and understand this is my energy time, I can study at this time. These are my 2 hours of complete devotion.
Identify those peak hours.
Identify those peak hours and completely devote yourself away from the distraction of the away from the distractions. Devote those 2 hours. Understand? I am active during afternoon. I can regulate these 2 hours and I can study properly.
there is a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the kids are so disciplined at this age?
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
Like
They
2 hours,
identify your
time to
energy
study,
time.
2 hours
It
to
can be
play.
1 or 2 hours.
No, it's just that it's the beginning of. If they start doing it, by the end of the year, they'll be able to identify. So for the next 2 years, they will be able to regulate it.
It cannot happen in one day. It's a skill again.
It's a skill. I have tried this with my daughter. Earlier, she used to study at night, and morning she has to wake up at 5. 3 o'clock till 3 o'clock she was studying. But then I told her, regulate your time. Do you think you are focusing or you're just going through your pages? She realized instead of studying till 3, she slept on time. She started getting up at 3:30 and studied till 5. And that's how she has been able to concentrate more. But it took a little pushing to make her understand what time do you think you have that energy to concentrate more. So that is what I am telling all of them, to understand their own patterns and focus. Once they are in that energy zone where they think they have the full energy, they are able to focus, but they need to identify it.
So what we are trying to tell you is when we were learning, we had lesser distractions. Imagine the kind of distractions you have from school as well if you're performing. You're not into that. There were only a couple of teachers or principals who would tell you you're doing well, you can do that. The whole school is presenting you the amount of pressure they are having and the amount of channelizing they have to do it and then process it and then perform it. We don't have to go through with that. So we have to understand that part as well.
Social media पे भी active रहना है, अपने chat groups पे भी active रहना है. It is important for
And it's showing up everywhere. The school is not letting you go even whatever you're doing at home or the whole outside. So you have to work harder as a parent to understand that they are evolving, but they're very new to everything. If you're asking them to grow, how much have you done as a parent? So it's not that we're trying to tell one part is right, one part is wrong. One side is as a parent is wrong, one child is wrong. No, it is just that you have to build in the skill. आप बड़े हो, आपको ही समझना पड़ेगा, वही बात है. That's there. So when you are When you are trying to teach something, when you are trying to show it something, show it with actions, give them little small tasks to understand. Don't put them with the whole page ki ye laake likh do aur karke de do, it is never going to happen. If they are excelling on something, it is their contribution as well, na?
My question is, suppose my kid is in 11th or 12th. They have a liking for certain professions, like let's say a journalism or a lawyer or something like that, and I don't see them fitting into it because let's say they're very shy or communication skills are not that good, which are imperative for that. So if I very visibly, with whatever little experience I have, if I see they are going to commit a mistake, and I try to tell them, but they are hell-bent that they like this only.
Okay,
That's
But they
their
are
point.
not
Let
fitting
them have
into
that
it.
wrong thing
Let
done.
them have, sir, I can give you
There is
an
no
example.
done there.
No, like that is
You have done
medicine.
the
So
lab,
if
there is
you
no
want the
use.
child into medicine, then the child can do the medicine journalism as well. There is
I'm
something
saying
called as
communication skills are not there.
communication.
That can be learned. Some skill can be learned and gained through experience and
Unless you put into the system, did you, as an 18-year-old, were we smart enough as we are as of
सब
now?
कुछ ही सीख सकते हैं ना. I'm saying 12th में what are you thinking? Okay, their skills are not good.
How will they, acha, the
And
amount
they
of time
want to
they're
become
putting
a
at school,
lawyer.
the amount of time they're putting at home tutoring or wherever, are they left with any time to breathe, to have their communication skills on? And this is a question for parents.
Suppose they have.
If
So
they
that's a
have,
possibility.
if they
Suppose
have,
we need to first check on their attitude and interest. First thing is that.
That's important.
Yes.
What Rajiv is saying.
Yes.
Yes.
See, if we leave them at this stage of their career, probably they will be not doing anything.
I'll give
See,
you a
actually,
small-
why I'm telling you is, they are exposed to everything. They want to do everything. So the day they see a lawyer performing well, they say, okay, we can go for this profession. Okay. So I'm a doctor. Maybe my daughter doesn't want to be a doctor. ठीक है, हमने आपको देखा ऐसे नहीं कर सकते. This is the stage where it's a raw clay. We can mold them the whatever way they
But
want to
for-
go.
for
We are
that-
not forcing them.
Not forcing
We are
them.
not forcing them, but to ask them to commit a mistake and then redirect them is not the right point.
no, now, so there
So
is
if
something.
my daughter says someday I want to go for a journalism and she has never spoken, like she can be a good journalist. Maybe in future she can be an outspoken person. But till that time, I haven't seen her that side. How can I say, okay, fine,
You
go for a
haven't
journalism?
seen her, sir, but there are psychometric tests first. We can test her whether she is fit for that.
Madam,
Secondly,
that's what I'm saying. There are n number of careers. Okay, na? For every career, there is an aptitude test. We all know that medical, that it needs hell of a preparation.
और उसमें
ठीक है ना?
नहीं
तो
आती
अभी
है
आप ये नहीं कह सकते. See, these are raw minds.
Can I just answer
so
that quickly?
counselors करते हैं, sir. That's where the counselors
So the
come.
only thing that I realize as a parent is know their interest. Know their interest, what they are. Then whatever you have said, redirect them. If they are going wrong, redirect them. Let them pursue the career they want. But you have to help them at every stage. You cannot leave them.
You cannot leave them, sir. I'm saying
Even
if they,
if
your child, if they want to explore being a journalist, if they have some free days, let them do a shadow work for a few days with a journalist.
Yes.
Let them understand their life.
For a let's say 16-year, 15-year-old,
Yes,
guy,
maybe higher,
maybe
sir.
say like in India.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whatever,
I have many students who have done
whatever course that you have written, they are all Indians, but they are working in America.
No,
So regarding,
okay, okay.
I am not arguing at anything. You have given an excellent presentation, but the hard fact is they are very raw. We need to support them. The way we are giving the career choices, we are not interfering into anything. We are not interfering, but this is an Indian scenario. This is a different scenario.
Sir, okay. We'll quickly get into that because this topic came in. We were trying not to get in because it's a separate story. NEP 2020, how many have you heard about?
What?
NEP, National Education Policy 2020. It's now as a part of curriculum. Every book will be having this one right now. What is it? Have you heard about this one? So Indian scenario is changing. That's why I said Manthan jaisa hai. So it is starting at the college level where they're asking for skill as well as your, IQ, EQ, everything, whatever we mentioned theoretically. That is coming into your school education where schools are being channelized. Right now, government schools, private schools has yet to come in terms with a lot of terms, agree. But we can, this conversation can go on and on.
This is an
It
endless.
is no, but there are fees. Okay, anyway, I'll just give you 4 points which are coming in for your answer. When you have a skill and an aptitude and everything, There's something called as multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary. So it is not going to be NEP is bringing in something which is called a mix of science, commerce and humanities, as well as there is something called as liberal arts. It's a combination of, if you want to design, you can design what you want to design, how you want to design. You want to be in medicine, you want to be a biotechnical engineering. So IITs are bringing in sciences, IITs are bringing in economics. So they are combining. Yes, it is catching up. We are the ones who are actually at the place where everything look haphazard, thrown onto us, right? But it is happening. So yes, the Indian scenario and whatever we have quoted, India has started already taking in. It will show up. By the time these guys are the kids right now in 7th, 8th and 9th grades, NEP is picking up at school level. You have to prepare them for college. That's why we are educating parents more than children, because you have to be educated enough to tell the child, okay, write it down for me. Let me see what is there for you. Or let a counselor tell you, this is the main one. These are the sign ones. Remember, major and minor are subsidiary courses. The regular BSc courses, if your friends have done. You might have remembered, master or honors degree into this one, and you had subsidiary courses. I had. It has no relation with mine. Geology had maths, physics, chemistry, English, everything over there. Okay? So now they're bridging in. So all the universities right now, all the topmost universities, they have single towers. Why? They have one topic for law, one subject. One for economics, one for psychology, one for mathematics. What kind of mathematics also is there? So yes, you can't say that it is not evolving. Schools are already offering a lot of combinations at 11th grades. I have a child. She's at one of the topmost schools right now. So this is happening. I'm just giving you one example. Government schools are also doing it. She has yoga. She has economics. She has psychology, and she has political science as a combination. When you will look at this, you will see this is a haphazard one. But what she wants to do into psychology, but she wants to bring in something onto that. She's already working on it. Okay. So again, the larger picture has to be drawn before than starting off from here that you can't do this. Ask for the larger picture out there. What exactly you want to solve, what exactly you want to do, see a pattern and help them realize there. And then have the communication. I know what that fear of, what we saw. We all are exactly into the same place. We are pretty much almost in the same decade like yours. It's very much where the counselors help them. So it's agree, हमें भी है. लेकिन education system में यही आ रहा है, जो बच्चे 6th, 7th, 8th में जा रहे हैं ना, उनके पास चेंजेस दिखेगा. जो बच्चे 11th, 12th में हैं, उनके पास प्रेशर आएगा. जैसे CUET आया था. With Corona, it was a madhouse. I had students who gave CUET, they were toppers, 94, 95, 98 percentile. They could not cut through a normal college out there because CUET was, जितनों ने Delhi University दिया है, they understood the format. Central universities, those who did not, don't know what is the format. It is a HOA. It is a basically that's the word. So you have to keep up. You have to probably ask the right kind of question when you are having that debate in your mind. Ask that question, this is there. Is this existing right now in the education system? Is there something we can do about it? Then you can say, they see there is nothing there. Then you're giving the statistical data to the child that, see, this is not there.
I think new age universities are
we're bringing in after this. So hold on tight, we're bringing in after this.
मैडम ये टाइम खराब कर रहे हैं इसके 4-5 मेडिकल कॉलेज में स्टेक है नीट टॉप करने वाला
खास बात है उसने कैरियर काउंसलिंग पे काफी मेहनत करी हुई है बट फैक्ट्स वही है
a valid thing. We understand this, but yes, we take it, separately so that the discussion can go on.
It's a good conversation because this is something that actually admits to. You brought in very, very valid point out there. I'm going to point it out there. This is, I think, everybody's been.
The next session. So I will not explain much as we already understood the domains of AI and how they are working at different stages of career planning, right? So for 11th and 12th grade, it is different. For a child going into the undergrads and beyond, it is different. So all these pillars of each who are playing their part at your different stages of your career planning journey. So I'll just quickly move through because we'll be taking care of the AI part. I will just only, talk about the EQ perspective in AI. We all know that AI is taking over, but what AI cannot take over is EQ. It cannot replace human empathy, right? It cannot replace the human skills, empathy, judgment, communication, trust, leadership. So they can act as your assistant, but if you have these strong EQ skills in you, you will be irreplaceable. So yes, we talked about the winning combination, IQ plus EQ. So IQ plus EQ with adaptability. We are adapting ourselves to AI now, right? So these three will give you a win-win combination for your career success. So I'll just move quickly forward. Okay, so this is about the end of the session. So before I leave, I would just tell you to remember three things. Number one, EQ is measurable. It gives results. Give it time. Yes. Use here at home, right? We have discussed the framework. And just remember one thing, you are their coach. You have to redirect them, but generally, you are not the authority. Involve them in the decision making, but don't take that decision. Okay? So I would be really glad to understand the WhatsApp group which will be open in the evening today, that how many here conversations are happening at home, right? I'm hoping that everyone will at least have one in this week and take it forward from there. Don't worry if it is not working out in the first two trials, but it will definitely work out in frequent trials. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for giving your time and asking some useful questions so that it clears the doubt of other parents as well. So thank you so much for patiently listening to me and understanding this domain. Though it's more of a skill to develop, it comes through practice. It's not a thing which you can learn in 1 or 2 days, but you need to practice every day to become an expert, to become a person with high EQ, to become a person who's emotionally intelligent, right? Thank you so much. And now I'll hand it over to Bhumika. She will be talking about future careers. Thank you so much.
So this section, just to brief you out, because yes, we have already done, it's completely AI based where you can apply those in real world and what all colleges. And yes, again, reminding everybody, please do not leave without, we have booklets for everyone out there, so you can pick it up for yourself. And some of the information will be floating in the group which we have created, so that you can have soft copies too, in case you miss out on those, hard copies out there.
Thank you, Preeti, for such an insightful session. It was an eye-opener for all of us. So first of all, tell me, all of you here, those who are millennials or after that, born after 1980, millennials? Before as well. So you must have seen coming of the first phone in your home, first landline, first TV, first refrigerator. So we moved from an era of no machines to machines. We have seen the incoming of computers. Everybody at that time feared computers job ले लेंगे, लोग काम नहीं करेंगे, मशीनें काम करेंगी, right? Same is happening with AI. Everybody is fearing AI. It's not going to take your jobs. It's going to work for you, work along with you, and we will discover that. So now let's have a look at what these men of technology have to say. Sam Altman, how many of you know Sam Altman? Open your eyes. He says, if I were 22 today, I would feel the luckiest kid in all of the history. Why? Because it's the greatest time for being in the technology. Technology is doing so much. You can build so much. Even small kids can build apps, websites, and help in solving real problems. Right? Small kids are building apps to help people deliver things. A small kid had developed an app to deliver through drones to elderly people, medicines through drones. Right? They're actually thinking and solving problems. Right? Everybody in this world is a programmer. This is the mindset miracle of AI, said by Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. How many of you know NVIDIA?
Yay, nice.
Good. So it's a global leader in AI computing, and NVIDIA is a company whose turnover is around equivalent to 5 economies, 5 countries.
For the graphic chip making company.
Graphic chip making company, but now it's everywhere. Right?
Introduced in early 2000, multi-fold share has grown up because still they were the first one and now they've grown up.
They've grown up. So their turnover is equivalent to 5 countries.
$4 trillion.
$5 trillion.
Abhi hai.
Right? So, and Sundar Pichai, AI is the most profound technology humanity has ever worked on. 3 of the most powerful men, all pointing in same direction. What they are trying to say is, you have to work with AI, not fear it. Okay, let me speak to the doctors. All of you have spent 15 years becoming a doctor, right? Your children have less than 5-10 years to prepare for a world which is still growing, which is not there yet, which doesn't exist. The job roles, the businesses, these fields that are not existing yet. It is not to be scared of. It is an opportunity to encash. If you can master AI with whatever core basic skill that you have, you will be able to encash the opportunity. The question isn't which stream, which mindset, or which field. It is with the AI fluency, you can master every field and use it as an opportunity. Are we preparing our children for the world we know or the world that is coming? The world that is coming is 85% of the jobs in 2030 don't exist yet. 39% of the skills will be outdated and 78 million new jobs will be created globally. Now, this is the most interesting slide that I want to discuss. Most of us have learned this one core domain and we are working in that core domain. Yes? We have grown up in this. Then the era came wherein one core domain and some knowledge of the others. Right? मैंने इंजीनियरिंग कर ली, थोड़ी सी मार्केटिंग सीख ली, अपनी फर्म बना ली, अपना काम कर लिया. Right? These are not relevant. Comb shape, M shape, multiple skills you have to learn. Right? Combine product designing with coding, and you are having your own business, solving problems of the others, combining data with electronics, being a musician and an animator, producing your own films, your own music videos, right? So this is the way the world is moving forward. The M shape or the comb shape that we're talking about. Having multiple skills, not just one skill. And that's where interdisciplinary courses that are being introduced in schools, in colleges are taking you towards. Right? Understand your interest, where you want to focus. Understand and put them together and make a comb of your own. Right? And these are some of the fastest growing roles which are going to be required by 2030 or ahead. You can take a picture of this slide if you want. Now, before we begin with this exercise, can you distribute these post-its to everyone? So you may distribute the post-its. Have a look at this. On the post-its, everyone combine 2 or more of these careers and make a new career. Think of a new career. It's an exercise for all of you. Combine them, any 2, minimum 2, maximum can be 3, 4. Combine them and make a new career out of it.
ये राहुल दादा तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते ये होता है सबके मतलब नहीं करना है
हाँ जी सर, सबको करना है।
सबके मतलब भी
Biological warfare, terrorist. सब
वंडरफुल वंडरफुल सर।
डिमांड है
नहीं करता हूँ
हम ओशन एक्सप्लोरेशन करेंगे
कुछ भी नहीं करता हूँ
कौन उड़ा लेंगे पतंग
कुछ
उड़ाएंगे
भी नहीं करता वो जो आता वो भी तुमको साल हो गया नाम बता
Just try, थोड़ा काम करना, थोड़ा सा काम।
थैंक यू अभी नहीं बना है
दो तीन चार जितना भी यूज करना है सर,
You can just write down the initials. You don't have to write the whole thing. That's just fine.
just write the quick careers that are coming to you and write the fields that
Whatever
are
you have heard of, even just heard of that name, that is just fine. That would like to understand that. That's all. Anything that you've heard of, maybe just passing by, read it somewhere, that also works.
Let's give you an example. AI plus healthcare plus data science. AI health predictive analyst. Have you heard of? Related to your field?
Yes.
So yeah.
We would like to hear from them as well. Sir, थोड़ा ज्ञान यहाँ भी बांट दीजिए.
Yes.
That is exactly what I
Hear what all of you have to say.
Bhumika, you can go. Yeah. Happens. It's okay, just write it. It's all right. Nobody knows.
So you have just combined. I want you to write the career. Don't just combine. Combination to कोई भी.
She's just going to tell you what you can combine with your AI and to see what.
So you have to write the career. Like I told you,
Address that.
a predictive analyst.
Mental wellness plus social media also has written. Can you think of a career out of this? I mean, a name like she's mentioning. This is what we are looking at.
I think you might change
Spiritual examples.
Okay, I just share some examples over here. So I've already shared health predictive analyst combining AI, healthcare and data science. Then you have AI clinical decision scientist combining AI, ML, digital healthcare and data science. Some of the examples that I can give is Cure AI. Doctors, you must have heard about it. Cure AI, Nirman AI, Vadvani AI. These are all AI algorithms that detect TB, cancer from the X-rays faster than anybody else. And these are being used by Max and Ames. So these are some combinations which are not going to happen. They're already happening right now. AI is being used in healthcare right now.
You have some more in your hand.
I
Would you like to address one or two of them?
Yes. So AI, ML plus sustainability, yes. So lot of sustainability issues are being solved using AI predictive models. Yesterday I attended a seminar where I was informed that even Indian government is putting a lot of money into predicting the sustainability curve of India and the global warming problem, and they are using AI models to help shape sustainability factors for Indian scenarios. Similarly, it is happening globally. So yes, certainly it is happening. Space entrepreneurship plus social media. Okay. So space entrepreneurship and social media is already being used. Facebook and Meta, Google already have their own satellites in space. And they are targeting through neuromarketing every person to market their products. Okay, so they are using, they have all your GPS locations, they have all your account, your social media details and everything. So they're using social media, they're using their space satellites to monitor all of you. So it is already there. Digital health, data science and mental wellness, yes. So a lot of apps are being developed to track mental wellness of students in colleges, to track their growth, to track patients, and data is being collected. I went to a university where a psychology student is working with AI to detect the possibility of suicidal thoughts in a student the minute they start walking inside the gate of the university. From their movements, they are going and analyzing the patterns. They are going to predict how much suicidal thoughts the child has. So these are the kinds of research that are happening in real world, combining AI and mental wellness and data science. FinTech AI already is happening. A lot of AI predictions. You all must be using apps like Grow for investing and all, trading and all. So they are using AI predictive models for investments. Yes. Social media and AI creative. You all are seeing AI creatives everywhere.
This is the most abused one ever.
Most abused one. But social media and AI. A lot of people are earning a lot by making videos, AI videos. So a lot of films are being made using AI. A lot of AI producers have come up.
If you have the right prompt, you can actually generate the whole movie out there from the right prompt.
Neuromarketing and space entrepreneurship I have already covered. Now Facebook and Google and everybody is using their space satellites to monitor you. And then through neuromarketing, they are focusing on what you want, and that's what exactly how they are selling it. Mental health, public health, sustainability have covered. Digital health.
Just like we have something unusual out there, but it's still
Right. So what is not covered, I will cover that. So what you have not covered is AI ethics and governance lawyers. Legal, tech, AI, ML, bioethics or biowarfare you said. Biowarfare you said. So AI ethics and governance lawyer who will define the laws of AI so that it is not misused using AI, tech, legal and bioethics altogether. Right? Neuro, UX and behavioral AI strategists. So neuromarketing plus AI plus social media monitoring. They will give you and they will tell you what you don't even want. आपने कहीं कॉन्वर्सेशन करी मलेशिया, किसी ने आपको मेंशन करा मलेशिया, अगले दिन मलेशिया की याद आएगी, बेच के ही मानेंगे.
We have realized that the time is going up and everybody has commitments. So just quickly leaving this information for everybody out here that the WhatsApp group will be opening and you can have some, a couple of questions to understand if someone has that. Students, we are encouraging you to do that more because parents definitely can reach out easily. So students, you should post questions, use that group. We are keeping it open for some important questions out there which you would like to get started with. Use that platform. And if not, we are actually going to give you 15-minute clarity session. If there is someone who would like to use that form, we will be doing that also. This is basically because we can see that people have commitments and they have to leave as well. So leaving this information, we will be repeating again. But yeah, WhatsApp group, please utilize that. We are going to do that after support and we'll be also sharing some of the PDFs which are more relevant and you can keep it handy.
Bioinformatics and drug discovery engineering. Combining bioethics again. Data science, digital healthcare and AI. Some of the fields that I used here. Quantum fintech and risk architecture. Climate, AI and sustainability data analyst. That's what I was talking about. Where governments are putting their money. So, in fact, European Union has already started appointing people. So these are some of the fields that are going to come up in future that are already there. And your children can explore these fields. Not just one core subject, not just one core medical or engineering, they can combine a lot of things. They want to be a lawyer and you want them to pursue medicine. Combine them.
Options,
Exploring
options, colleges and universities, that's the best place now to ask the question, what all we can do with this combination.
Yes.
If it makes sense, then go ahead. I don't think it is right where the sincerity lies with the children. Or the student will also understand, okay, this is too much because it's getting with the combination of that, I don't want that. That becomes your clarity out there, that, the combination that is being offered yet probably will give you the elimination out. Yes, that, okay, I don't want physics with my economics because I don't want economics out there. I want physics with AI or something else maybe. This is how it is going to help you and help your child to understand. Then you can ask relevant questions to career counselors or general Google, search as well. This is where we're trying to, you could have easily taken the college list and everything. That is not going to make sense because it's evolving every day.
So what parents should understand over here is don't prepare your child for a single job. Prepare your child to adapt broad rules. So this I've already covered. I'll give you some numbers. 282 million e-Sanjeevani consultations via AI-assisted telemedicine. So we are already connecting digital health tech with AI. 27% decline in TB adverse outcomes via AI tools. Pure AI, Nirman AI, Vadvani AI have already been used. Right? 2 million digitally trained doctors needed in India by 2030. Right? So this is how AI is coming into your field. Okay, those who want to pursue engineering and technology, these are some of the roles which are in demand, right? So AI ML engineers, a lot in demand. The earning capacity, the earning potential starts from 12 lakh to 40 lakhs in the first 5 years. Data scientists, cyber security architect, so much in demand because everything we are doing right now is through data. You need cyber security architects, robotics engineers, robotic engineer plus medicine, something that is going forward. Robotic surgeries, right? Quantum computing, a lot in demand because the space on Earth is limited and we need quantum computing to sustain the data servers.
I'm just going to leave an information right here that you might be thinking it is, happening with outside India or whatever. International universities are actually getting established within India. You're getting dual degrees or the final degree outside. So few years within India and the final few semesters outside. So you're getting the degree outside or within. So the whole market is actually shifting Middle East as well as within India. So they are actually establishing universities within India where the cost is getting cut for parents. Yes, you're still getting the exposure within India as well as the last years over there. So you're getting the degree which is internationally applicable and India applicable because there are certifications. We all know that if you don't have the license, you can't practice. Even if you're a doctor, you can't practice. Even if you're a geologist, you can't practice. So certification and validation will become everywhere. So if you're feeling that this is not happening within India, this is happening within India. Multiple universities have already been signed with the MOUs and they're already going to launch within next year. So they're already doing it. 5 of them this month only. And there are many more which are coming in. University of Aberdeen, UK, that just got their campus set up here as well. So these are the two.
University is there. Is there.
Yeah, I mean, you name it, you have it over there. Basically.
University of the
Yes.
There are at least 15, 20 right now and another 20, 30 that will happen by next year. And these are the campuses within your reach. Travel is less, cost is less, your worry is less, and you're still offering the world-class one. So this can be taken care by the government.
Moving on, those who want to know about law and finance and management, there are some of the courses where you can combine AI with law. AI contract analyst. The global tech market reaches 35 billion by 2027. And these are some of the most in demand combinations right now. AI fintech, AI law, and AI management. Some of the top institutions that you can look at are NLS Bangalore, NASA Hyderabad, Harvard. In AI fintech, the most in demand roles would be quant analyst, AI risk officer. Every company is now appointing AI risk officers to analyze the AI risk in their domains. So Indian fintech market is reaching 150 billion by 2025. It's already reached. Some of the top institutions, if you want to follow these fields, would be IMA Ahmedabad and Calcutta, BITS Pilani, with the CA combination, lethal combination. AI plus management, chief AI officer. Before COVID, nobody heard about this field. Chief AI officer. आज की डेट में सबसे ज्यादा पेड गई है. Chief AI officer. AI product managers. So this is not about science versus commerce or science versus or AI versus a field. It is about having AI in all the streams.
Even UI, UX, which
Yes.
students are really interested in. UX, when you talk about, so one is interface, the other was in design. If you're not understanding the psychology with the AI help or any technology, you're basically lagging. Your product will not be able to take off very well. So that also is getting into UI, UX if the design students are there and would like to understand. So this is also one of them. I mean,
This
there's
is for the design.
yeah.
So those who wanted to pursue design, right? Those who are interested in, those who love art, films, architecture, it is for them. So AI assisted architecture. Now the entire buildings are designed through AI. You had the software earlier, but now AI is redefining how you design the space. Much better than architects. They're using AI for that, right?
A small activity for kids. If you're using AI, try using the prompt for these
Yes.
courses to understand, what it is generating. That will give you an insight. For kids, it's more happening when you get the results immediately. So if you're using AI, try giving a prompt, improvise, and try with these combinations what exactly it is giving you, and probably try to have an image or a video out of it to understand better.
Big architecture firms are now having their own generating AI to design smart cities. Entire planning is done using that. Every aspect of it, right? So salaries could range from 10 to 40 lakhs in India. Game designing, immersive tech is happening right now. You have generative AI content, which we already know. AI filmmaking is happening. Entire Marvel films are designed using AI. No production cost at all. Only AI. Using AI, entire Marvel film is being already designed. Have you heard of the film Ramayana, which is now being made using Ranbir Kapoor? They have designed Sushant Kapoor as Lakshman. Sushant Kapoor is no more. Sushant Singh, Sushant Singh Rajput. Sorry. Late Sushant Singh Rajput is no more, but his character is there as Lakshman. Designed by AI.
It's a very high percentage that the movie has been made by AI.
Yes, AI itself. This is already happening. Creativity is not being killed by AI, but creative people are using AI to the most advantage. What they could not do it themselves, they are now using AI to do it. Channelizing it more. So AI is not to be feared. It is there in every field, but to be mastered. So top institutions for AI era courses, you can have a, if you want, you can take a pick. So IIT Hyderabad was the first institution in India to launch BTech Artificial Intelligence course in 2019. Third after MIT and Carnegie. IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, Kharagpur, Roorkee, Hyderabad. IIT Hyderabad and IIT Delhi all have BTech, computer science and AI courses. They all have multidisciplinary courses. They all have majors and minors. So if you're taking electrical engineering, you still can have artificial intelligence